Well, well, what do we have here?
It's a new video.
It is January 2020 and Handeye Supply's monthly subscription box just arrived. I'm going to open this with you guys and then we're going to go play a 3-disc challenge. Alright, I'm excited for this. Our putter for our 3-disc challenge will be a classic blend splatter Judge. Even has a little bottom stamp right there on it. Our mid-range will be a Lucid X Suspect. And our driver will be a Lucid Vandal. So thank you for joining me out here at Bird's Nest Disc Golf Course once again. This 3-disc challenge will be very interesting for me. It is my first 3-disc challenge of 2020. I'm starting here off on hole 1 with the Lucid Vandal, and I throw it a little bit high, so you know, first shot jitters. It actually goes fairly straight for a while, and then just teeters off to the right. I take the upshot here with the Lucid S Suspect, and it is more stable than I expected, and of course miss the first putt of the day. Off to a good start with a +1. On hole number 2 here, there's a gap that I just kind of take the Lucid Vandal and go through it with a forehand. And it flies pretty good. It goes straight and then kind of hyzers off at the end. I think that was measured at about a 291 foot shot, but I'm still missing putts. Not to blame the disc, not to blame the person, but definitely it's one of the two. I'll take a 3 on that hole. Hole 3 is looking uphill here. So I go backhand with the Vandal to see how far I could actually throw it with my backhand. Turns out not very far. But I have a decent approach with the Lucid Suspect. Skip it right up there to the basket. And finally I have a putt I can make. Looking at hole 4, we're going back downhill. Sort of got my hole number 1 mistakes in mind. I'm going to correct those. Forehand with the Lucid Vandal, and man, that thing flies straight. That glide on that disc is going almost past the basket, hits a bush right there, and I have a look at a 2 here after that 340 foot drive, but instead I'll just tap into 3. Hole 5 is another forehand through a gap, so I try to go with the Lucid Suspect just to see if I can hit the gap, and I just end up hitting the trees. But I take out the Suspect again, and what I like about the Suspect here is that utility over stable mid-range. I would put it up on a big old anhyzer and it flattened out by the time it hit the basket. Got me close enough to at least save the 3 after hitting the tree. Again, whipping that Vandal straight off in the distance. I think this was about a 290 foot drive. Gave me a pretty decent upshot that I wanted to try using the Judge with, but I just left it way too high. But at least I made that putt for a solid 3. Hole 7, we're looking at about a 330 foot hole. Not too much to it. I just go backhand Lucid, and then I actually take the backhand Judge again, get up there right and close for a solid 3 on that hole 7. Hole 8, I try to muscle this Vandal straight, and I just turn it over. One thing this hole taught me is that Vandal actually doesn't want to turn back and have much stability to it, which is good if you release it correctly, but then kind of detrimental if you release it incorrectly. And my upshot wasn't close enough, missed that putt. That will be the second bogey of the round, sitting at a +2 for the day. And I learned that same mistake here again, a little bit of a correction, but that basket's over off to the right, and so I just ended up going straight past it. But I had an easy upshot around a tree for a drop-in par. Forehand drop-in par. Here we are at hole 10. This is usually a fairly birdieable hole. I throw the backhand Vandal and it goes right behind a tree. So I had a kind of a tricky putt for a 2, and oh well, I'll make the best of it. Hole 11's got a gap of trees right up by the basket, so I'm gonna take that Vandal and try to hit it. And I actually do. I go pretty much through that gap I wanted. It fades off a little bit to the right. Got a circle's edge putt. And if I'm not feeling it, I'm not feeling that distance. So that's solid 3. I'll take tap in 3s if I have to all day. Hole 12 is one of my nemesis holes. Got a big line of trees I have to get through, and that Vandal squeaks through and hits that tree right at the end. That's about a 270-foot drive, which was pretty happy by my standards. Ran the putt, but made the comebacker for a solid 3. Hole 13, I'll go backhand with the Lucid Vandal. Turned it over just a little bit, but with my backhand it wasn't so bad. I think I ended up getting about probably 250 feet or so off that drive. An easy upshot and a easy putt for par. Hole 14 is the 1 par 4 on the course. And I left this shot low, but that Vandal has so much glide that it stayed level and got a big old skip. So then I'm just thinking I'm gonna take this suspect, but I did not give it enough, and that totally just skipped way early. And missed that putt, which I should have made. So that makes that an easy 4, but really that's a miss hole. Forehand, Lucid Suspect, hits that tree. Got an easy approach. Easy 3. Hole 16, I'm trying to go straight at the basket, but I kinda got a little more on it. I actually made it through the trees, which for the other pin position would have been great. But now I'm coming back at the basket. A little bit of a roll away, but it stops close enough. We got hole 17. Pretty straightforward hole, except it goes uphill right at the end. I left this one a little high, but that understability of the Vandal kept it going straight, so when it finally crashed, it kept me well in the fairway. Standard routine shot with the Lucid Suspect into the hill, and a tap-in putt. And for hole 18, I'm going to try the forehand with the Lucid Suspect one more time. A little bit of a flex line. It's going downhill, so it actually got a lot of distance, which was impressive. I measured this drive at about 326 feet, which was way more than I thought I could get with that disc. I had to make an effort to get to the basket, but at least I pulled the 3 out of it. So for the round, sitting at a +2, which is better than my average. I'll take that any day of the week. Thank you so much for joining me on this 3-disc challenge. I hope you got something out of it yourself. I real quick want to reiterate that as an amateur disc golf player, I love doing 3-disc or 1-disc or however many disc challenges because it gets me to actually get a disc in my hand and actually throw it at different speeds, at different wind conditions, in different environments, and actually start to understand what discs I'm throwing. And also it gets me a chance to try new discs. So if you're an amateur disc golfer like myself, I highly suggest using subscription boxes as a tool. I'll put a link down below to the Handeye subscription box and where you can find it on the Dynamic Disc website. Personally, I love this monthly box. It gives me unique discs, it gives me good quality discs, and I also get a lot of different merchandise and a lot of different accessories as well. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, but please give that video a thumbs up and use that comment section down below if you have anything you'd like to tell me. I will be making more videos about twice a month, and I hope you'll be there to join me on my journey with disc golf.